Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.
Question 1. If a property has a large crop of annuals, which conveys as personal property? A. Trees. B. Crops. C. Mineral rights. D. Air rights. Answer. B. Without any kind of contractual agreement to the contrary, the annual crops convey as personal property of the person who planted them. The person may still harvest them as they become in season after the sale of the property. Question 2. Mortgages and trust deeds are similar by A. Securities. B. Title. C. Statute of limitations. D. None of these. Answer. A. Both mortgages and trust deeds are security interests in real property. In the event that the borrower defaults, they provided the legal right to have the property sold. Question 3. The final step in the statutory dedication process is A. The recording of the subdivision map. B. The acceptance by the proper official. C. The signature of the real estate commissioner. D. None of these. Answer. A. When the subdivision map is approved and recorded, this would be the final step in the statutory dedication process. Question 4. Any encumbrance placed on a property without the owner's consent is considered A. An involuntary lien. B. An abstract of judgment. C. An involuntary attachment. D. An involuntary judgment. Answer. A. An encumbrance is usually a monetary amount placed against the property. This is also called a lien. An encumbrance placed involuntarily can be considered an involuntary lien. Question 5. A person makes an offer to purchase a property that was shown to them by their broker, but then waits to present the offer to the seller until later that day. In the meantime, 2 more offers were submitted on the property. Under the rule of agency, the offer A. must be presented alongside the other offers to allow the seller to make a fair choice. B. must wait to be presented to the seller because the other offers take priority in order. C. is considered to be void because only one offer at a time can be placed on a property. D. must be presented first because the offer was known by the broker before the others. Answer. A. Under the rule of agency, all offers must be presented to the seller. Question 6. A section in real estate is A. 1 square mile. B. 36 square miles. C. 7,467 square feet. D. 1,280 acres. Answer. A. A section in real estate is 1 square mile. A township is 36 square miles. The other 2 answers are equal to 2 square miles. Question 7. A person who is required to reside on the property and to sign a claiming statement is most likely referring to this. A. A homestead. B. A trust deed. C. A superintendent. D. A farmstead. Answer. A. In order to file a valid homestead, the person must reside on the property at the time of recording the homestead and also sign a statement that claims the property as a homestead. Question 8. If an agent is the agent of the seller, the agent owes the buyer A. Honest and fair dealing. B. Nothing. C. Fiduciary duties. D. None of these. Answer. A. The agent is required to deal honestly and fairly with the buyer when the agent is the agent of the seller. The agent owes the seller fiduciary duty. Question 9. As a tenant in a business center, the operating owner installs separate and additional lighting and counters to accommodate the retail business that is going to be operating in the space. Upon vacating the property at the end of the lease, the lighting and tables A. are considered trade fixtures and are the personal property of the tenant. B. are now considered part of the building and will convey with a sale. C. can be removed but only by the owner's expressed permission. D. must be properly removed by the exiting tenant. Answer A. The fixtures are considered to be trade fixtures in this case and are the personal property of the tenant. While it is not required that they be removed, unless by contract, they must be removed carefully and any damages must be repaired by the tenant. Question 10. The license issued to practice real estate is considered A. a privilege. B. a protected right. C. a right granted by the real estate commissioner. D. none of these. Answer A. The ability to practice real estate as a licensed professional is a privilege, not a right. Question 1. Under FHA standards, the minimum ceiling height for a single-family residential construction is A. 7.5 feet. B. 8 feet. C. 8.5 feet. D. 9 feet. Answer A. Although most ceiling heights are 8 feet, the FHA minimum requirement is 7.5 feet. Question 2. Real estate assets are usually acquired by using A. the results of long-term and short-term gains. B. the supply and demand of equity capital. C. equity funds and money market funds. D. debt funds and equity funds. Answer D. There are mutual funds and real estate investment trusts that do acquire real estate assets, either debt assets, mortgage assets, or equity assets, ownership assets. Question 3. From a historical standpoint, the major function, objective and aim of the FHA program has been provided by A. Title I. B. Title II. C. Title III. D. Title IV. Answer B. The largest and most important activity of FHA is the insurance, under Title II, of mortgages for home purchase and construction. Question 4. Examples of negotiable instruments are as follows, except A. a mortgage secured by a promissory note. B. a draft. C. a check. D. an installment note. Answer A. The note is negotiable but not the mortgage. Question 5. A form that is usually prepared to allow a real estate licensee to act as an agent for all principal parties to the transaction involved is A. an agreement of sale. B. an exchange agreement. C. a loan broker's statement. D. a real property security statement. Answer B. Under an exchange agreement, the real estate licensee acts for both parties. This is one instance where he could earn a commission from each party to the transaction. Question 6. The hiring of a specialist in property management would be justified by A. absentee ownership. B. technological advances in building concepts. C. vacancy factor higher than normal. D. urbanization. Answer A. In absentee ownership, the owner lives away from the property and is not able to adequately supervise it. Question 7. Which of the following is not one of the four important elements of value? A. Scarcity. B. Appreciation. C. Utility. D. Transferability. Answer. B. The four elements of value are utility, scarcity, demand, and transferability. Question 8. Madison is a mortgage loan broker. When setting up a loan, Madison differs from Carter, a mortgage banker, in which of the following ways? A. Carter is authorized by law to make larger loans than Madison. B. Madison is exempt from the Finance Code. C. Madison does not normally use his own funds in arranging a loan. D. Carter deals primarily in loans which must be recorded. Madison's loans are normally not recorded. Answer. C. A mortgage loan broker normally does not loan his own funds, but negotiates the placement or sale of a loan with a particular lender. A mortgage banker generally has the funds with which to make a loan. Question 9. The following are correct statements concerning an option, except A. The optioner must perform if the optionee exercises his option within the period specified. B. The optionee must perform if the optioner exercises his option within the period specified. C. To exercise the option, the buyer must pay the amount specified in the option. D. The consideration for granting the option must be actual. Answer. B. The question is a negative question asking for a false statement concerning options. Answer 2 states, the optionee must perform, which is false. The optionee receives and the optioner must perform. The optionee is the one who exercises the option. Answers 1, 3, and 4 are all correct. Regarding answer 2, there must be some consideration. It may be money or an act. In a lease option, it often states that there is the option to purchase the property for $100,000. The consideration is the leasing of the property. The leasing of the property is sufficient consideration upon the part of the optionee. An option must contain all the terms of the purchase similar to a deposit receipt. At the time of exercise, all that the optionee must do is state, I will buy according to the option terms. Question 10. The provision that states the realtor shall not publicly disparage the business practice of a competitor appears in the A. Real estate law. B. Commissioner's rules and regulations. C. NAR Code of Ethics. D. Business and Professions Codes. Answer. C. This provision appears in the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. Question 1. What special type of ownership is available in most non-community property states and is only available to married persons? A. Estate by escheat. B. Tenancy by the entirety. C. Dual tenancy. D. Coup estate. Answer. B. Tenancy by the entirety is available in most non-community property states and is automatically the assumed form of ownership when a couple purchases real estate together unless they opt for another form. Question 2. If a restaurant is located in a section of town that has been rezoned from restaurant and retail to commercial office building development, the restaurant can remain there by use of A. A special use permit. B. Non-conforming use. C. The grandfather use clause. D. Tenancy in specuity. Answer. B. The restaurant can remain in place by non-conforming use. The restaurant will not be able to expand into other neighboring sites, however. Question 3. A broker gives a written step-by-step instruction manual to new agents and instructs them to follow each of the steps exactly in order to produce sales for the brokerage. In addition, the broker threatens to discipline any agent that does not follow the steps, up to and including termination. The agent should A. Be scared of losing the position in the brokerage by means of firing. B. Follow the directions step by step. C. Do what they feel is best for obtaining results for the brokerage. An agent is an independent contractor and liable for results only, not the means they are achieved. D. None of these. Answer. C. A real estate agent working under a broker is liable to the company only for the results achieved as defined in the hiring contract and not by the specific means they are achieved. This is an independent contractor arrangement. If it were an employer-employee relationship, the employer can dictate the specific means of obtaining performance. Question 4. To match the specifications of a subject property, in the market data approach to appraisal, the sales prices of comparable properties are A. Increased. B. Decreased. C. Adjusted. D. Net zeroed. Answer. C. In the sales or market data approach to appraisal, the sales prices of comparable properties are adjusted to match the specifications of a subject property. Question 5. In real estate, the simplest form of property ownership is called A. Joint. B. Tenancy in common. C. Community. D. Severalty. Answer. D. The simplest form of ownership in regard to real estate is severalty because there is only one owner. All other forms include multiple party owners involved. Question 6. What is the formula for determining the value of an investment property? A. Net operating income divided by capitalization rate. B. Capitalization rate multiplied by net operating income. C. Potential gross income divided by operating income. D. Potential gross income divided by capitalization rate. Answer. A. Net operating income is divided by the capitalization rate to arrive at the value of the property. Question 7. If a buyer decides to pay for a property in cash, which form is required to be filed according to the IRS? A. Form 1090. B. Form 9600. C. Form 8300. D. Form 2740B. Answer. C. IRS Form 8300 must be filed on all cash payments that are $10,000 or more. Question 8. A cash payment of $10,001 is given as earnest money to secure a property. What must be filed? A. A documenting receipt. B. A procurement contract. C. An IRS Form 8300. D. An expediting loan form. Answer. C. The IRS requires any cash payments over $10,000 be recorded by filing a Form 8300. Question 9. A vendor vendee is a term that best describes the relationship between A. Purchase and sales. B. Mortgager mortgagee. C. Grantor grantee. D. Optioner optionee. Answer. A. The term vendor vendee is best matched with purchase and sales. Question 10. Which term is best related to lender borrower? A. Grantor grantee. B. Mortgager mortgagee. C. Optioner optionee. D. Seller buyer. Answer. B. The best match from this list that is related to lender borrower is mortgager mortgagee. This relationship is a lender borrower relationship. Question 1. Which of these are not included in a spot survey of a single lot? A. Nearby schools. B. Property improvements. C. Encroachments. D. Easements. Answer. A. Nearby schools would not be included in a spot survey. Spot surveys identify property improvements, encroachments, and easements. Question 2. How do professional agents establish a listing price for a property? A. Appraisal analytics. B. Broker research report. C. Geographic location analysis. D. Comparative market analysis. Answer. D. The comparative market analysis is the method to determine a listing price that is based on similar properties in the area. Question 3. A contract that has been performed except for one of the elements listed is called A. Executed. B. Pre-performed. C. Executory. D. Void. Answer. C. When all parts of a contract have been completely performed, it is called executed. Until all parts have been completely performed, it is called executory. Question 4. When a broker obtains a new contract, it is considered what until fully performed? A. Pre-executed. B. Pre-performed. C. Invalid. D. Executory. Answer. D. A contract that has not been fully performed is known as executory. Once it is performed, it is called executed. Question 5. David, a broker, has recently finalized a deal for the purchase of one of his listings. The buyer has given him earnest money. What must David do next with the earnest money? A. Deposit the money in the company operating account. B. Deposit the money in his personal account. C. Deposit the money in an escrow account. D. Place the money in a secure location for later. Answer. C. All earnest money must be placed in an escrow account. Earnest money cannot be mixed with personal accounts, business operating accounts, or other locations. Question 6. The pledging of something as collateral or security for payment of a loan is known as A. Hypoflation. B. Hypothecation. C. Hypothecary. D. Hypogenation. Answer. E. Hypothecation is the pledging of something as collateral or security for payment of a loan. Question 7. A borrower conveys legal title to the property to a third disinterested party for safekeeping in order to secure a loan. The required document in this type of situation is called A. An executory deed. B. A warranty deed. C. A trust conveyance. D. A trust deed. Answer. D. A trust deed involves a third party that holds the deed to the property until the loan requirements have been fulfilled for a lender. Once the loan has been fulfilled, the third party holder of the trust deed will reconvey the deed to the purchaser. Question 8. To create a valid mortgage, it must be A. In writing. B. Secured by collateral. C. Have monthly payments. D. Have pictures of the property. Answer. A. Options given, being in writing is the correct answer. However, a valid mortgage must also contain a legal description of the secured property and a statement of the debt owed. Question 9. If land is utilized in a range of ways in balanced proportions, this can potentially A. Decrease land value. B. Increase land value. C. Be illegal due to zoning laws. D. Cause tension between neighbors. Answer. D. As long as the land use is in advantageous proportions, this can increase the value of the land. Question 10. Ito wishes to have a broker represent him in the purchase of a new piece of property. This type of arrangement would be called A. Dual agency agreement. B. Cooperative broker assignment. C. Buyer-broker agreement. D. Right to show agreement. Answer: C. Of the listed answers, buyer-broker agreement is the correct answer. This type of agreement can also be called an exclusive right to represent agreement. Question 1. The right of survivors, in joint tenancy, to acquire the interest of the deceased tenant is called A. The right of conveyance. B. The right of survivorship. C. The right of tenancy extended. D. None of these. Answer: B. In a joint tenancy, if one of the tenants dies, the other inherits the property by means of the right of survivorship. Question 2. Real property is defined as land and appurtenances, including A. Permanent structures. B. Trees. C. Minerals. D. All of these. Answer: D. Real property is defined as land and appurtenances including permanent structures, trees, minerals, and rights of them. Question 3. The amount of the outstanding balance on a mortgage not including any interest or other charges is called A. The principal. B. The original loan amount. C. The primary. D. None of these. Answer: A. The principal balance is the outstanding balance of principal on a mortgage that does not include any interest or other charges. Question 4. A public official that keeps public records of real property transactions in their county is called A. A deed transaction recorder. B. A clerk. C. A recorder. D. A registrar of recording. Answer: C. A recorder is a county public official that records of real property transactions in their area. Also called a county clerk or registrar of deeds. Question 5. A written contract that states the terms and conditions under which a property will be sold, and signed by both the buyer and the seller is known as A. A purchase agreement. B. A purchase note. C. A purchase order. D. A purchase contract. Answer: A. Of the answers given, a purchase agreement is the most correct. A purchase agreement is the written contract that is signed by both the buyer and the seller that states the terms and conditions under which a property will be sold. Question 6. If a loan has a loan-to-value percentage in excess of 80%, what is required? A. Private mortgage insurance. B. A cosigner. C. A down payment in excess of 10%. D. None of these. Answer: A. Private mortgage insurance is insurance required for loans with a loan-to-value percentage in excess of 80%. Question 7. If an owner reduces the principal on a loan before the due date, this is called A. A prepayment. B. A loan reduction strategy. C. A payment in excess. D. None of these. Answer: A. A prepayment is a payment made before the due date and reduces the principal on a loan. Question 8. Another term for pity is A. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. B. Principal, insurance, topography, and isolation. C. Parties, interest, taxation, and insurance. D. None of these. Answer: A. Pity stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Question 9. A mortgage payment that is not enough to cover the scheduled monthly payment on a mortgage is called A. A partial payment. B. A percentage payment. C. An interest-only payment. D. None of these. Answer. A partial payment is a payment that is insufficient to cover the scheduled mortgage loan payment and is normally not accepted by the lender. Question 10. If you are given a formal written notice that a default has occurred, this is called A. A notice of default. B. Intent to levy. C. A notice of court action. D. None of these. Answer. A. A notice of default is a formal written notice that informs of a default that has occurred and that legal action may be taken in the near future.
Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.